Racks has been first started out as a rack for canvases for my daughter. We built it for school, like the intro said, and it developed over the last couple of years into a wine rack, and it can be actually used for many different things, and I'm sure people will think of a lot of other ways. Racks has two design patents. One design patent involves this unit here that you see in front of you, and then the second design patent is for connecting two or more. What's unique about this rack is that anytime you put it together, you won't need any glue, you won't need any hammers, you won't need any screwdrivers, you won't need any nails, you won't need any screws, you won't need any wrenches or drill guns. Everything that goes together with this rack is what you see in front of you, except for the wine bottles. What I'm introducing you today is to the 4-bottle wine rack and the 8-bottle wine rack. You look behind me and you'll see there are so many other designs and applications for this rack itself. So let's get started. What I have in front of me is the 4-bottle wine rack package. This package here is an unfinished 4-bottle wine rack, which makes this unit here that you saw earlier. When you get this delivered and shipped to your door, it comes with the introductory brochure and some of the different items that you can make out of this rack, and just one page with some pictures of the directions. When you open your package, you're going to find that there's going to be 2 end panels that have the dowel holes in them. And what I'm going to show you now is the holes and the dowels and how they work. You can't take the same size dowel and put it in the same size hole without having to strain it or use a hammer to bang it through. Believe me, I've tried. I was putting the same size dowel through the same size hole and ended up with many a splinter when they broke off of my hand. What's unique about DaksRaks? That there's no friction hardly at all. We start with the end panels. In your end panels, you'll see that on one side of the end panel, there's a very small stamp in the wood. Next piece you want is just a 1/4-inch panel of wood. It's notched to fit, marry with that right there. The last solid here piece of wood that's going to be the other end panel is also stamped, so you know that will be the inside of the panel. And then you want to marry that so it's lined up with the one on the inside. And another good way to check is you'll see the dowel pattern. The dowel pattern here that cradles the bottles runs all the way across the back. The front, where the bottles are pulled and retrieved from, are smaller and the gaps are bigger. You can start with the X. I call it the X in the middle. It's just basically the middle of the rack itself, and you can start right there. Until you've completed this all on the inside and you've created this triangle here, this diamond here with the dowels, something that was falling apart before is now held together. Simply with those 6 dowels right there. It's not ready to hold your wine bottles, but you see what it's doing. You see that the dowels are working against the panels, and the panel in the middle is going to keep it square. You can go ahead and finish completing all of them. You can do them in basically any pattern you want. You can do it vertically like this. Or let's say you're more comfortable working on a hard flat surface like this. I'll show you, and you can take these, just line them up, twist them, and push them through. Twist it and push it through. Again, it's getting stronger and stronger. And once I have this unit completely built, we're going to go ahead and put some wine bottles in it, and we're going to give it a test. And we're going to test it and see if it's going to hold that wine so you can drink it later. Name of my company is DaksRaks Rack. Daks is a name I came up with after my mother's maiden name. My mother's side of the family is Italian. They're from Italy, and her last name is D'Aquila. So as I was building this, or not building it, but actually coming up with this idea after we'd built the canvas rack for my daughter. I ended up playing with her last name. I thought it was unique. It dealt with wine. So I ended up coming up with DaksRaks. Because you know what? When I put these last two dowels in, and we put the wine bottles in it, you're going to be saying the same thing I've been saying. Dak's a nice rack. And again, these are the legs that we use to either stand it like this as a lean-to, or we use it to connect two or more. So this is what we have now. It's an unfinished solid wood rack that I just put together by hand. No tools. And now I'm going to show you why it doesn't need any glues, screws, or nails. This rack can hold your bottle in different positions. This here, it displays it as being a vertical. You can rotate it, it'll hold it horizontal. I'm going to show you later how you can put it back and lay it like this, and it's like a crate. We'll start by inserting this one here and pop it in. Let's get another one. We'll start in the middle, put the bottom in, and pop it in. These racks are designed to hold various sizes. They start at 2 7/8. It'll take the bottle, and up to probably a 3 1/4 measured bottle as well. Here's a larger bottle that's in the rack, and what you'll see is it actually looks like it's floating. The bases of the dowels doesn't change, but what changes is the flexibility in the dowels that are up there. There you go. So, well, how is that? How do I know that's going to hold all my wine? Well, I came up with a test, and what you want to do is make sure all your dowels are flush, the unit's square, and it's fully assembled. And go ahead and pick it up. Now that's 4 bottles of wine. The bottles will actually flex. The dowels will flex with the bottles, and they will be held in there, and if it actually pop right back in. 4 bottles of wine, 1 rack. No screws, no nails, no glue, nothing. Well, it looks good like I'm holding it. As I hold it, it looks pretty secure, doesn't it? That's pretty secure. I think this will work.